Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Avarice Podcast. I'm Devin, and so am I. And we're coming to you from the Devon Dome, deep beneath the deep blue sea. I'm just kidding. I'm actually in Portland, but it's kind of like an aquarium, so what's the difference? Today we're going to be doing a movie commentary on The Shining from 1980, directed by Stanley Kubrick. It's interesting. This film is interesting for a myriad of reasons. Rather than try to go in and just verbatim repeat what I've heard other people say, I would recommend, if you really want the lowdown on all the different conspiracy theories and twists and turns and kind of Easter eggs and shit that people have really read into and spent a lot of time thinking about, watch Room 237. It's a documentary about The Shining. I watched it on Netflix like 5.5 years ago, probably 10, 15 times. For somebody who's really into movies, you know, a nerd, a nut, whatever the noun may be, I just found it enthralling. All the little hidden things, some of it that I don't even buy, but you're like, why the fuck is it there? That's also a case of whenever you enter something like a movie looking for secrets and conspiracy theories and details to support your theory, you're going to find a lot of it that's probably just there by happenstance, because you're going to have a confirmation bias. You're going to be more likely to find things that align with your theory. Anyway, I might mention some things as they come to mind that I saw in there or reference them, but for the most part, this is kind of going to be my own thing. I'm feeling kind of in a goofy mood. I'll probably do a lot of joking around and just give my own personal observations of what's going on and what the scenes make me feel, how I can relate, all of the above. So if you've never listened or watched before, I'm going to play the movie. You'll be able to slightly hear it in the background, and I'll do commentary over it. You're welcome to watch along at home if you have it, or if you can find it streaming, whatever the case may be, or you can enjoy it strictly in podcast form. I think it's easily digestible either way. I try to make it that way. I'm working on upping my game when it comes to the actual, like, video portion of these commentaries. I'm still not there yet. I'm going to have to invest in some better software, and I'm going to have to start investing a lot more time. And right now, neither of those, I don't have the extra money or time. So I'm going to just keep trudging along, putting out stuff the way I am, and I'll improve as I go. I'm looking at it objectively. Obviously, I don't think that this is a final form or a finished product. I don't think I'm done learning how to do this. But I tend to learn best by experience. So anyway, if you are going to watch along, get prepared, because I am pressing play in 3, 2, no, wait, hold the phone, time out. I didn't even smoke any weed. I'm such a stoner, I forgot to smoke weed. That's another part of the ritual that I didn't mention. For some reason, I'm feeling a little bit anxious and antsy at the beginning of this, and I just need to... Okay. Part of it is because I know the baggage that this movie comes with. There's so many different routes that you could take when doing a commentary, and at the very least, it deserves a quality commentary. And it's 2.5 hours long, so all that's kind of swirling through my head and playing with my emotions a little bit, getting me worked up and nervous about the result, which usually isn't good. Just kind of have to relax, let it flow, and let the good times roll. How's the pale ale, Stifler? Ozzy, you fuckface. So the one obvious thing that isn't a conspiracy, that is definitely true, is that this was a Stephen King book that Stanley Kubrick turned into his film. And it's definitely his film because it is dissimilar in a lot of ways from the book, at least I've heard. I've actually heard Stephen King himself is upset about it, so that leads me to believe it's probably the case. He even went so far as to make his own made-for-TV version. So it was Stephen King's book, Stanley Kubrick's movie, and when it came out, Stephen King hated the movie. And in a lot of ways, I feel like Kubrick did some purposeful things as kind of like a fuck you to Stephen King. Like, your realm is books, I bring things to life in film, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine, I have the rights to do this, you can fuck off and kick rocks. And he's kind of right. I mean, if you wanted to make a film that was your exact vision, then you should have made a film. It got left for me to do it, and I did it my way. Of course, you have the elements of the... So a lot of people think that the moon landing was faked and that Stanley Kubrick directed the footage that they used to fake it. And that he used this movie as kind of like an Easter egg as a way to get that off of his chest subvertly or indirectly. So a lot of people think or point to certain elements in the film that appear to be referencing the moon landing or the moon itself. Things that appear to be one way that are actually another. Sleight of hand, smoke and mirrors. It's just very odd and hard to make sense of. I'm not doing a great job at the beginning of this podcast. I'm going to be honest. Right now, I'm just trying to fill time while I grind up this weed so I can smoke a bowl. Then maybe I'll be a little bit calmer and shit will start coming out of my mouth smoother. Because at the moment, I'm failing pitifully, if I do say so myself. So in addition to all the moon landing conspiracies, there's also like some stuff with the Taurus and yada yada. I don't even remember it all. It's been several years, like I said, since I watched the documentary, even though I did watch it several times. So if something does pop up in my mind while I'm watching the movie, I most likely will say it out loud and let you know. But don't expect this to be like the end-all, be-all, definitive conspiracy theory commentary about The Shining. Because that's just not the path I want to go down. It seems more like I'm doing a documentary of sorts. And that's already been done. I've already seen it. It would damn near feel like plagiarism. And I want to err more on the side of playful and comedy and just having fun with it than I do like hammering you with facts and theories. Unless it's something that I'm into and I like studying the theories like Game of Thrones or Halloween, then I will share in that. But this, you're trying to mix a fictional story with real life events and make them into some kind of a theory, and you're never going to know the answer, for one, because Kubrick's dead. So it feels like you're just treading water and not getting anywhere. Like talking about 9/11. To me, does some shit look off? Yeah. Could it be explainable? Maybe. But if you're going to spend your whole life trying to figure it out, you're probably going to waste your whole life and have done nothing. So what are you going to do? What do you think you're going to find out? Anyhow. imagine I just stuck my foot in my mouth because later I'm sure I'll be talking about some of the conspiracy theories. I just don't want people to enter this with the expectation that that's all I'm going to be talking about. And that I'm going to know every detail and that I'm not going to miss certain things. I'm more interested in the mindset of Jack. And watching his character doesn't change, and that was part of Stephen King's contention. Stephen King said that in the book he starts out a normal guy and this place changes him into this evil monster and this crazy guy, and that his problem with the film was that Jack starts off crazy from the jump and just gets a little bit crazier. But I see it as Jack is a guy who is barely keeping it together. He's an alcoholic. He seems abusive. And he seems like maybe this is like his last shot to get his life together. If you think about it, he puts himself in seclusion where all he can do is work. There's no distractions. There's no way he can get in trouble. And he's starting to crack. And he slowly just loses his fucking mind. And as the father and the head of the family, he sees it as his responsibility to provide for them. So he sees it as the reason he's in the position he's in, where he's forced to do this to earn a living. He starts to resent them as though they're the reason that he has to live this way. And it gets to the point where he cracks and just full-blown goes after him, essentially. He takes on a task that is just overwhelming, that he can't handle, and he gets in over his head and loses it. That's not directly the way it plays out, but if you want like a real life interpretation of how real shit can get, if you take on something like that managing that entire place by yourself in solitude, it could be a lot to handle. And if you start to realize you can't handle it, and you start to crack mentally, anyway, it's gonna be damn near damn near 1 o'clock in the morning by the time this movie gets over. I better get to it. Okay, without further ado, after that false start, I'm now pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. One of the best parts of this movie to me is the opening scene. It just gives you that eerie kind of goosebump-inducing, bone-chilling score. Is that an organ? I'm talking about the instrument. I'm pretty. This is organ. That's Crater Lake, if I'm not mistaken. So many trees. So one thing right off the bat is that the Volkswagen is yellow in the movie, and it's red in the book. So he's like, just the very first thing you see, he's like, fuck you, this is mine, not yours. He did still leave it a bug, which is interesting because it doesn't need to be a bug. There's no reason for it to be any kind of specific car other than in the book it was a red bug. So if look at the lengths that he's going to try to get this job. This isn't something that your average Joe with ample opportunities is willing to do. It's not a situation you're willing to put yourself in. This seems like a damn near a last resort. I know it would suit some people's personality types. I could see how there's certain people who, fuck yeah, I'm up in the mountains by myself for 3 months and all I gotta do is turn some furnaces on and clean some shit. Awesome. There's people who would really make the best of it and who can manage that well. But he doesn't seem to be one of those people. This seems like your wife's like, come on, honey, you gotta put on a nice shirt and go out and find a job because this shit just isn't working right now. And you're like, she reads you an ad in the paper about going out to Colorado and staying at this winter resort or summer resort, whatever the fuck it is. They're closed during the winter. There's no skiing. That's right. Go out to this resort and stay for the winter and just kind of be the groundskeeper and make sure that the place doesn't suffer too much damage from the winter. And you get paid well, free room and board will go with you. You can start working on your book. It'll be great. And he doesn't, this is like a moment in his life where he has to go along with it and make an honest effort, or say no, fuck that, and probably get a divorce. I'm projecting this all, but I think that's Timberline Lodge in Oregon. I live in Oregon, I should really know that. But this exterior shot, I'm positive that's Timberline Lodge. So anyway, so he's going up there and he's kind of putting on this show like he's, you know, ready to do this, ready to give it a good effort. But he's reluctant because it's not honest. He's just doing this to save his marriage, in my opinion. And he's just an inherently creepy guy, let's be honest. Jack Nicklaus, like, he's just got this lunatic quality to him. There's the impossible window. So according to the way people suspect the building is laid out, there should be no way that that window exists, is what they postulate. Is that the correct word? Look at that guy's erection right there. 3.5 hours. He drove 3.5 hours for this gig. I don't know what he's getting paid, but it better be like some life-changing shit. Or, like I said, a last resort. Like, he's bounced around from every shop and factory around, and they're just looking for something new, something change, you know, a change of scenery, get their life together. Jesus Christ. He's eating a sandwich, watching cartoons, and she's smoking a cigarette right next to him at the table. It reminds me of my childhood. They just didn't know any better.
Yeah, I guess so. In a way, there's hardly anybody to play with around here. Yeah, I know.
So this is back at their place. Oh, he went by himself. That's right. He didn't bring the whole family yet. I forgot.
What about Tony? He's looking forward to the hotel, I bet.
See, Danny's got a brain tumor, and nobody knows. They're just...
Well, how come you don't...
His mom thinks it's cute. We live a normal life. He suffers normal abuse. He has normal blackouts. He has a normal imaginary friend. He hears normal voices. It's not a tumor. That fucking colors of these walls. What is this? Jack Nicklaus's hair never looks like... It looks like he combed it, but it doesn't ever look like he really finished. It looked like he did 90% of it. Or his hair is cut in a way that doesn't jive with the way he wants to comb it, which is always a possibility. That tie, is that a knitted tie? Stolman. Look at this Jack Kennedy looking motherfucker. He's got a fabric tie on too. Looks like it's knitted. What is that? Is that what people wore then? I mean, it's kind of cool, but it looks like sweater material. It sticks out like a sore thumb with those like nice shirts and cuffs. So I was explaining to him right now that while this place is a nice hotel, in the summer months, in the winter, it gets so much snow that nobody can get access to it, and you always run the risk of getting snowed in and stuck there. So they close it down for the winter. And they just have kind of a winter groundskeeper turns the furnace on this in this wing, you know, make sure nothing freezes, try to fix any damage that arises, and just keep it all together until the next season comes and everybody arrives back again. My wife wouldn't be able to handle this shit. She would be creeped out 24 hours a day. Like, my son and my dog, I already call shadows. They're my extra shadows. My wife would become my fifth shadow, because I have my actual shadow, my son, my dog, my wife. So four shadows. So my wife would be my fourth shadow. We would they would leash themselves to me. Or my son would just run off and not be scared, and now he would be scared. I'm thinking about the way he is. Nobody in my family would dig this situation. 5 months? I thought it was a few months. 5 fucking months? God damn. Yeah, that's like some midlife crisis shit. Like, he's trying to get sober and earn a living at the same time. Oh, I'll make them go along with it.
They'll love it.
If I want their opinion, I'll give it to them.
Well, before I turn you over to Bill, there's one other thing I think we should talk about. I don't want to sound melodramatic.
I think that's none of your damn business. I'd like you to stay out of my personal affairs.
I don't suppose they.
When and where I got my piercings and tattoos is my business. That's between me, my God, and my wife.
I don't believe they did.
Okay? Well, it's just a small issue, or a groundskeeper here kind of like, he went a little bit psycho. He might have killed his family, allegedly. It was a very minor incident, only a few murders. It wasn't too gruesome, just an axe was used. There was only a couple of children. They made up more than half the victims, but it wasn't that big a deal. He might have committed suicide. We're not really sure. He was hung in the bathroom, but do you believe in ghosts? What about aliens? Maybe the Russians did it. We're not exactly sure what happened. It's nothing that you should be worried about. Some people died. Things happened. Decisions were made. What can you say? Forget about it. What are you, a pussy? Basically what happened is we had this guy doing this job we just gave to you, and he was a pussy. He couldn't hack it. He killed his wife and his family, and then afterwards he offed himself. But we cleaned up real nice. You're not even going to notice the smell. And I tell you what, this guy, he was a contractor. He did some beautiful remodeling in your apartment before he offed himself. You're going to love it. You're going to want to sit down. You're going to want to have your cock in one hand, a beer in the other. And you're just living your life. It's beautiful. You've got a hell of a cowlick going on there. I hate that it was left for me to tell you that, too.
Well, you can rest assured, Mr. Ullman, that's not going to happen with me. And as far as my wife is concerned...
See, I get the impression that all of this interview and everything is a facade he's putting on. He's trying to fake being a new him. They can't afford for him to go off to rehab for 90 days. They're going to get evicted, not have a pot to piss in. So, this is his rehab, his AA, his writing class, his new job, his vacation, all of it rolled into one. And Danny's in there talking to himself because they still don't know he has a tumor. This is one thing I noticed that I don't think is even in that documentary I was talking about earlier. The dress his wife is wearing. See how it's that blue with the red sleeves? Later, when Danny's riding his tricycle, the seat is blue and very similar shaped to that part of her dress, and he's wearing a red shirt, so his red sleeves are sticking out. I don't know why that would be a correlation or what it could possibly mean, but I just did notice the similarity, and I felt like I should share that with you. This is important stuff. Oh boy. He got into his mom's medications. You can't keep your acid pains in the medicine cabinet with the rest of your stuff. Your kids are going to be like, what's this weird kind of candy fruit roll up? They're going to stick this window pane in their mouth, and they're going to be seeing elevators full of blood and dead twins. Not even hot ones, little kid ones. No, we're not talking about, was it Coors Light or Bud's Light? Bud's Light. Bud Light. And twins! I guess she did call this doctor to come for a home visit. They're not completely neglectful. But you see some cracks in the veneer when the doctor starts talking to the mom. Well, last time my dad hit me, I lost consciousness and threw up all over the place. Well, Danny, it's possible you have a concussion. What's a concussion, ma'am? Oh, it's something football players get. You'll be fine. You're a tough guy. This is the 80s. Actually, 1980 is when the movie was released. So I'm betting it was shot in 79. I was talking to my dick.
Is Tony one of your animals?
No, he's my penis.
No, he's the one that lives in my mouth.
You put your penis in your mouth? See, the mom is like, oh shit, she's gonna think my son's crazy. I gotta defend him here. I gotta put up a shield
Because he hides.
and block anything. I don't want the doctor to know if something's actually wrong. We're normal. Everything's normal here. Everybody's normal. Normal brain tumors.
Does Tony ever tell you to do things?
No, but my mom does.
I won't tell about Tony anymore. That's fine. All right, Danny. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
For the record, I don't actually think he has a brain tumor. I'm not trying to make light of brain tumors. In fact, I had a relative die fairly recently of brain cancer.
I'll come back and check on you. Okay?
It's, to me, it's just the obvious explanation for what's wrong with Danny. No, I'm kidding. And when I reference the abuse, that's legit because she talks about the husband grabbing him by the arm. You know, is he just like he normally would, but he hurt his shoulder. Like she's trying to downplay all of it,
I don't think you have anything
which is a classic of like
quite sure that
victim of domestic abuse. Oh, we deserved it. Oh, it was our fault. I tripped. I fell. He doesn't mean it. He really loves us.
it seems absolutely fine.
Denial's a river in Egypt.
Kids can scare you to death. But believe me, these episodes are not at all uncommon.
You haven't seen my husband. You think kids can scare you?
What was the matter with him? Mrs. Torrance, most of the time these episodes with kids are never explained. They're brought on by emotional factors and they rarely occur again. They're
So
more
that's the one weird. I like this movie. I think it's a great
induced trance.
horror movie, but
If it
this like slightly supernatural psychic element I have a little bit of trouble with. I'm just like I'm not quite sold on it. I just don't. But why? What are we using? What is it? What purpose does it ultimately serve? Oh, her husband was a teacher. Now he's going out here.
Did Tony's first appearance happen to coincide with your arrival here? No.
Well, and apparently, Stanley Kubrick actually treated, I don't remember her name, but treated her like shit on set. Like, I've just would yell at her and demean her and tell her she was doing a horrible job because he wanted he wanted her to seem authentically abused and damaged and scared and worried. Like he brought all of that out in her. But I'm not saying it's right to treat actresses like shit, but it was effective nonetheless. Stanley Kubrick was a very effective filmmaker. And he made so many
About 3 hours.
movies that are very different from one another, and each one of them is uniquely impactful and has this sort of cult following behind it, and all these theories and all these Easter eggs, and it just lives on.
Grabbed his arm.
Eyes Wide Shut, of course, being
It's just a sort of
his swan song.
times with the child.
And a lot of people think he died because of it or got killed because of it. You need to ash that cigarette, homegirl. You're making me want a cigarette really bad. But I think it might be too early.
There's too much strength and he
Oh, she's talking about when her husband accidentally dislocated Danny's shoulder by jerking him up off the ground.
Wendy, I'm never gonna touch another drop.
That's how Danny got so good at jerking off Tony, is because when his dad pulled him off the ground.
Any alcohol in the fireplace?
You believe that? So he must have lost his job from drinking. He was getting abusive. She said, shape up or ship out. Maybe. She seems kind of mousy for that, but there does seem a point usually in those types of relationships. Actually, it usually happens multiple times. Maybe she meant it this time.
To be high up, the air feels so different.
I put some weed in the air cleaner.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
Should have eaten your fucking
You
breakfast.
should eat your breakfast.
Oh man, too real. It's a, it's a little throwaway line, but that is every parent's life. Eat, 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 eat. They don't fucking eat. As soon as you're away from any food source, or the only possible food source is McDonald's or something, then they're hungry. Insistently. They're ravenous.
Wagon times. They got snowbound one winter in the mountains. They had to resort to cannibalism in order to stay alive.
Mean they ate each other up?
That's what that means, Danny.
In order to survive.
This is a 3.5 hour drive and you're wearing a sweater and a suit jacket? You guys didn't have sweats then, did you? There was no Nike. Poor chaps. It's a beautiful landscape. It's majestic. And you really get the impression that once they're up here, they are secluded. They are alone. Everybody's cleaning, packing shit up, closing down shop. This guy's not even wearing a suit anymore. See, he knows how to travel. He's going to at least wear a leather jacket on some gangster shit. Just long enough to eat a bunch of food.
Time to grab a bite to eat.
Good, glad you made it before they shut.
He was reading a Playgirl magazine.
Now my son's
What the fuck? Isn't Playgirl a women's? Isn't that a gay porno mag? How'd they fit all that luggage in their car? That luggage is bigger than a Volkswagen Beetle. See, it's the little things he throws in like that if you notice them, you're just like, what the fuck? I guess the implication could be is once you go inside this hotel, all the rules of logic that you know no longer exist. Stuff can be one way at one point, another way at another point. There can be windows where there should be walls. Your luggage can be 4 times as much as you brought with you. It's like some kind of Harry Potter, Hogwarts, cursed, changing, ever-evolving hotel.
This is probably the most gorgeous hotel I've ever seen.
Well,
This place has had an illustrious
you can't really say it's ever evolving or changing because the layout clearly doesn't change because these guys would notice they work there. I guess I should say it's the hotel that defies logic and reason. It just shit doesn't make sense. And you see that threaded throughout it many, many times where it's like, wait a minute, what? That doesn't... There's a continuity issue here. But Kubrick didn't have continuity issues. If it was done on purpose. I know somebody's gonna be like, actually, he had 14 total continuity issues. Timestamp. Play with us, Danny. Play with us. Danny. Oh, look at the centaur in the back. Look at that phone booth inside. Was that a normal thing? Do they have phone booths inside of places? That seems weird to me. I guess it kind of makes sense. No, it makes sense. They had phone booths inside. I'm a dumbass. That just very much seemed like a phone booth that would be outdoors. It didn't look like an indoor phone booth. There's so many exit signs around, too. It's like, how is every direction an exit? It's like a labyrinth that's trying to confuse you. Why would you phrase it perfect for a child? Who says child in that context? It's creepy. I mean, that's not a bad free room. Look at that bathroom. That's pretty big. You got the nice trim. You can have friends over for... Oh. Maybe you could watch the Super Bowl. We could just catch up on your email. You can binge your favorite now. We'll just download a bunch of We'll just take your whole record collection. Maybe that's why they had so much luggage. He brought his whole fucking record collection. Oh, it's built on an old Indian burial ground. Isn't that what happened in Poltergeist or something?
That's fine. Because basically the snowcat operates very much like a car and it won't take you long anything.
I think that was a common plot line before the like anti-Indian Native American kind of PR movement started, where they're like they aren't Indians, that was a misjudgment, they're Native American. Well, I guess even the Native American burial ground is that just gets used less. I think that we overused it back then. And like, look at how big this room is. That hotel that we got the long shot of is not big enough for there to be one room in it this large. Just things like that. It's just it is the hotel that defies logic. Scatman Crothers. And he's the only one that seems to know something's fucky about it. Or maybe they all do, and they're putting on a charade because they want to get these people roped into it so they can get the fuck out of there. And he's the only one that's willing to be a little bit real with Danny. How's it going, Doc? So there's a connection between Scatman, the chef, and Doc, Danny. And it's that they both shine or have these visions or can see the future. Whatever or in some cases the past, I guess. It scares the shit out of Danny. So why does the other dude want to be there? Like, he works there. You would assume he's having these creepy fucking visions all the time while he's there. Maybe it's an itch he wants to scratch, so he's just there. He's going to take him into the story room. He doesn't say storage, he says story. Which is weird. It's a big fucking kitchen. You wouldn't even know which stove to use. Industrial mixers and shit. God damn. Oh, this is the walk-in freezer. Got 33 pounds of hamburger, 14 pork chops, 17 chickens, 14 pounds of baby back ribs, 39 cases of tuna cans, 14 Vienna sausages, and some sushi. It's frozen sushi. Didn't they walk into this room on the other side? Yeah, when they walked into the room, the stuff in the background was those mixers and shit. They walked out, and they're on the other side of the hallway. They walked into that door with the red light above it. See, all those mixers in the kitchen and shit was behind in the background when they walked into the door. So they walked in on one side of the hallway, walked out on the other. Ain't that fucking crazy? See, this is the story room. There's no way that wasn't on purpose.
We got canned fruits and vegetables, canned fish and meat, hot and cold cereals, post toasters, cornflakes, sugar.
God damn, that's like your own miniature Costco. It's like bulk versions of everything you could want.
We got 60 boxes of bag,
I'd be eating some ridiculous shit every day. Like, there's the Calumet, Native Americans. You get all the, yeah, you seen it? Ooh, he's throwing his thoughts into my mind. Our tumors are on the same frequency. I wonder if Danny shaved his hair off. If his tumor would be more effective.
You know, Mrs. Thomas, you gotta keep regular if you want to be happy.
What the fuck are you saying to my wife?
How you getting on? Just fine.
You tell my wife she's got to shit often if she wants to be happy? You thinking about my wife's asshole, buddy?
No problem.
You want to fight?
We're just getting to
I know you're a chef. What, you got some slick shit? You got a knife up your... You got a knife up your sleeve? You think you bitch, I will beat the shit out of you. You got a little handkerchief tucked in your pocket?
chocolate champagne. Come on, son.
Don't show him where the chocolate ice cream is stored. He's gonna be down there getting...
Yes, well, the guests and some of the staff left yesterday, but they...
He's gonna eat so much chocolate ice cream he throws up one day while his parents aren't paying attention to him. Or he's gonna get abused and run away. Run away to another wing of the hotel. Do you like when I ask you uncomfortable questions, Doc? Sometimes. You ever seen a grown man naked? Once. Did you like it?
I can remember when I was a little boy. I ran
You ever hang around a gymnasium?
entirely without ever
Hmm?
opening our mouths. She called it shiny. And for a long time, I thought it was just the two of us that had to shine too.
Danny has kind of this shy psycho quality. But I swear to God, he's abused. He's in a shell that way. He's clammed up.
How long have you been able to do
And usually, like the way that his dad was so quick to let him have that ice cream, usually when you have an abusive parent like that, in public around other people is when they're quick to do these things like, oh yeah, go have the ice cream. Go ahead. I love you. Just whatever you want. It's all great for you. Because it builds up a public image that is so far away from what they actually are. That's why you always hear, oh, I never thought it'd be him. Well, yeah, they're sociopaths. They're just playing both sides against the middle, trying to survive.
it? The one that tells you things?
God damn, you got a wrinkled up forehead, bro. Look at fucking... I'm trying to figure out what kind of wave pattern he's got going on in the crown of his head.
But when I wake up, I can't remember everything.
Does your mom and dad know about it?
See, somebody's been drugging him and molesting him. That's what's going on.
Do they know he tells you that?
He sees this shit, but when he wakes up, he can't remember everything. It's because he's drugged and he's being taken advantage of. Maybe by his parents, maybe by aliens. I'm not the judge of that. This is all alleged, but I'm telling you it happened.
I don't know.
You do know. How many things have been in your butt?
Maybe show me something.
I asked you for a number, not if he showed you something.
Darling, are you scared of this place?
No.
How are you not scared of this place?
It's just that
You just walked into a freezer on one side of the hallway, and then when you closed the door, you were on the other side of the hallway.
sunshine.
What happens if you've got your wife in one room and your girlfriend in the other room, and you shoo her, and you're like, here, go in here, baby, and you close the door, and all of a sudden they're both in the same room, and you don't even know what the fuck happened. PlayItGotCaught.com, that's what happened. You can't be trifling, caught up in this shit. You leave your phone in one room, you can't find where that room went. The rooms are all rearranging themselves. It's like 3-card Monty with rooms. Musical chairs, somebody don't get a bed. I don't know what the fuck happens.
Say like someone burns toast. Well,
Oh,
the autopilot chases behind.
how is that the example he used? It's like when someone burns toast, but they don't like to eat it. So they put it over the sink, and they take a butter knife, but they don't butter the bread. They use a dry butter knife, and they scrape it on the surface of that burnt toast until they scrape all that blackness off the bread, and it's laying there in flakes and crumbles in the sink. Then they wash it down the drain. And then they take the corner of that toast, they put it up to their mouth, they bite it just a little bit, just the tip, just to see how it feels. If it's soft enough, and if that charred, smoky taste is gone, they go ahead and eat that fucking toast. But if they can't get rid of it, no matter how much scraping they do, by God, they'll make some new fucking toast. How? They aren't gonna have bread. Bread doesn't last for 5 months. They're not gonna be getting any fresh bread shipments. That would be a huge part of my story. It'd be like, motherfucker, we can't. A month later, we're skipping a month in time already. So the first month went swimmingly, apparently. Oh, shit. I gotta open a new pack of cigarettes. No wonder I can't find them. So what I'm saying, Danny, is when you burn toast, you burn... I don't know what I'm saying, Danny. You can toast bread, and you can burn toast, but you can also burn bread when you're not toasting it, if you're baking it. And the leanest burger in the world can be the meanest burger in the world if you cook it that way. Shout out to Darnell Williams. See this part right here where he's riding around? See how his shoulder straps in the seat of the tricycle make it look like he's wearing a dress that's identical to his mom's? I don't know if that's on purpose or if it correlates in any way, but it definitely looks the same. Just from like a shape, visual image perspective, like looking at it two-dimensionally. I go out, I fight BJ Penn, he poked me in my eye, I see 3 BJ Penn, I cover my eye, hit the one in the middle. That was a bad GSP impression. I've done better, but I haven't heard him speak for quite a while. See, the kid's riding his tricycle around, she's up, she's already cooked breakfast and everything. He's waking up, it's like, I missed what time she said, but it's late, he's hungover. He hasn't gotten any work done in the month he's been here. The walls are starting to close in on him. He's starting to realize he is the piece of shit that everybody is afraid that he's been. And he can't take the heat. Can't take the heat. Get out the kitchen. We on a mission. Come along and ride on the fantastic voyage. Dance, clown. Dance. We haven't really seen him develop an edge yet.
You really do.
to this point. Like, it seems like there's just a veil of friendliness over this psychopath, but he's maintained the veil to this point. We haven't really seen like that. She spoke about it. She hinted at the abuse, the physical abuse.
I came up here for my interview. It's as though I've been here before. I mean, all that moments a day.
He's hungover as shit.
So ridiculous. It was almost as though I knew what was going to be around every corner.
See, he's trying to do that kind of faux inspirational shit. Get in her emotions, make her feel a certain way, inspire her, make her feel like he's got it all under control. He's some kind of a poet. He's got this all figured out. It's all gonna be good if you stay with me, baby. We moved up here, everything's beautiful. We just chilling and shit. We got it made. And we getting paid. I got a gold chain. You see, he's not keeping it together. He's throwing a fucking tennis ball at the wall manically, like he can't help himself, like a nervous twitch. This maze changes configurations, at least like based off how he's looking at it and what they're actually in. The picture doesn't match what the maze looks like. Anyway, I gotta go take a piss, so you guys listen to the movie real quick. How was that for some ominous music? He does well. It's not a particularly distinct score, like a Halloween or a Jaws, but it is exactly what it needs to be for this film. It's not like they were making a Shining 2. They don't need shit that they can create a franchise out of. They don't need trademark stuff. They just need it to work this one time. He's starting to get this evil fucking look in his eye. Like, he's cracking and he's starting to veer over to the dark side a bit. If I can't make this all work, then I'm just gonna tear it down. I love the way that it zooms in from the bird's eye view and then shows you them walking in the maze like that. Beautifully manicured. Like, that would have to be trimmed on the regular to look that clean. Those are crisp 90-degree angles, sharp lines. Tuesday. I hate fucking Tuesday. Hamburger Happy Meal night. Fucking A. My first job was working for McDonald's, and on Tuesdays at our McDonald's, you could get a hamburger Happy Meal for $1. It was the busiest fucking night of the week. Heinous. People coming through ordering 15 Happy Meals. You got to make all those little drinks. You got to make all those little fries. You got to make all those little hamburgers. You got to put them in all the little fucking boxes, and then you got to hand them to the little cunt driving the car. Usually some kind of soccer dad. And I'm not trying to speak ill of soccer players. It's just like usually a guy in a minivan. My first night having a job was I had to make fries for Hamburger Happy Meal night. And that is like a workout. You're constantly bending down and grabbing a new basket and putting it grabbing a new basket out of the hopper, putting it in the fucking fryer, taking the last one out, putting it in, salting it. You got to make 4 larges and 3 mediums and 77 smalls. Hated Tuesdays. The one thing that was good about it, though, is because you knew so much money was coming in, you could really beef up the staff, and you could have 2 people here and 2 people, like, everybody's working their ass off, but it would be flowing fairly smooth. And the caveat was you had to get your hamburgers either regular the way they come or completely plain. Couldn't do special because we had to be able to have a queue. We had to be able to have 10, 20 of those motherfuckers sitting there waiting to accommodate these huge orders and keep the line moving. Anyway, Danny is riding around in this creepy ass hallway having visions of the dead twins, who are the kids that got murdered by the previous caretaker. Almost wonder, so they told him about the one. What if it's happened a lot? What if it happens every time? What if they just set him up for it? And that's the way they're all kind of like, yeah, this is all great. It's nice here. You're going to have a great time. We can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Bye. See you later. Probably not. Check you later. See, he's sitting there going through the motions of getting his work done, but he's almost actively resisting it now at this point. Like he's begrudgingly doing his writing. So instead of actually trying to work, he's writing, well, we don't know what he's writing yet. They haven't shown us, but if you've seen the movie before, you know he's writing all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. He secluded himself out here where all the things that he deems fun, all of his hobbies are removed, he's removed from them. He cannot access booze and partying and going out on the town, watching football game, and all of that's gone. It's just him in his own skin, and he can't fucking take it. See, and this is where some of the resentment starts to come out for his wife. He knows that he's failing miserably at everything he's promised. He's not meeting the goal.
Okay, I understand.
And like I said before, he probably partially sees her as a lot of the reason that he's going through this. So now that's where the resentment comes in. He feels bad about himself. Why does he feel bad about himself? He's been forced into this situation where he can't thrive. Why is he forced into the situation? Because he's got to support the wife and the kid. The wife and the kid become the enemy. But I think that there's a little part of everybody that can relate to this, where you are just trying to get your mind wrapped around a concept, focus on a task, actually get something done, and somebody comes, you just keep getting interrupted, and you just have that breaking moment where you're like, listen, will you just let me fucking do something? Can I just be? Can I just focus on a task and let my mind get deep in thought without you coming over and asking me something? I think that that's another message for the movie. Is a human being, we need to be able to recognize the potential for craziness and lunacy and evil in all of us. We're never above that. That's never a battle that is over. You can be winning it. You can have it well in hand. I mean, you can have the odds so far tilted in one direction that it seems insurmountable. You could be so good that it seems like you'll never go dark. But there's always a chance. It's never solved. So these little elements of his character that you can kind of relate to and go, oh, I see that. I know where he's coming from there. That looks like me a little bit. It's to remind you of how far south it can go so that you can kind of put yourself in check a little bit. The worst part about evil people isn't that there's some anomaly. It's that we all have the potential to get to that point if put under the right circumstances and pushed in the proper way. And you can just see it on his, he's turning. The mask is coming off. I have never read the book, but I do see a transition in the character, in the Jack character, throughout the course of the film. It just may not be at the same pace or to the same end that Stephen King had it in the book and the way he envisioned it playing out on screen. But I think that there is an arc there. He goes from trying to put on a front and act right and be a certain way, and he just slowly loses his cool until the demon comes out turned up to 11. And it seems to come out once they get their first major snow event and they're actually stuck there. It's almost like he felt trapped, but he felt like if he really cracked and got to the breaking point, he could leave if he wanted to. The car's still there. It's still dry outside. There's no snow on the ground. Like, if he really wanted to say fuck it all, he could just abandon this gig and go back to his regular life. And once the snow falls and he's stuck there, it really hits home that this shit is for real. You are not getting out of this no matter what you do. And that's when he's like, well, if you can't play with them, kill them.
Hi, this is Wendy Torrance at the Overlook Hotel.
Hi, how you folks getting on up there? Over?
Oh, we're just fine. But our telephones don't seem to be doing too well. Are the lines down by any chance?
And
There's quite a few of them are down here.
I go back and forth on if like the girl in the room and kind of the weird visions and if all the paranormal kind of shit is necessary to tell the story. Because for me it kind of takes away from it, but I don't know if you can remove it and still have it play out effectively.
Is there anything else we can do here as far as over?
Just telepathic, supernatural, it's just not my go-to. It's not my favorite.
And Mrs. Torrance,
I consider them like cool, kind of like, wow, what if alternate universe movies, but they don't hit home as scary the same way that
Bye. Over now.
this is something that's just like a person who lost their shit. Or like I was talking about earlier, something that forces you to recognize that a person can become truly vile and evil, and they don't necessarily start out that way, and that, yeah, we'll go back to the movie. I'm losing my own train of thought. These shots with the Steadicam are fucking beautiful. Now, I'm not too well schooled in filmmaking and different cameras, but isn't that basically Panavision? Isn't that basically what John Carpenter used for Halloween and then Rick Rosenthal used for Halloween 2? This seems like maybe a newer, higher quality version, like maybe a second iteration, but it's basically the same technology, right? Play with us, Donnie. Oh. Scenes like this creep the shit out of my wife. They don't really get to me at all. Maybe the day I walk down a hallway and see some people that aren't actually there and they're creepy and talking to me, it'll resonate more. But for now, it's just kind of like a badass scene to be in this scary movie, in this thriller. It would be terrifying for a little kid, even if he's imagining it. Which, who knows, after the concussions sustained at the hands of his father, the brain tumor that he has that's likely growing at an exponential rate because nobody wants to stop buying booze long enough to pay for an MRI and get it checked out. And then whatever he's getting drugged up with when he's getting these, quote, visions and somebody's having their way with him and he wakes up and can't remember what happened, he might be having some kind of weird flashback right now, some kind of an acid trip. He cracked his neck wrong. Maybe he's just on too much Adderall. Maybe he stayed up through the Ambien phase where you're tired and now he's just high as fuck. We don't know. His penis starts talking to him again. This boy's got issues. Okay, here's one fucking weird thing. The TV is not plugged in. There is no cord. I imagine when they shot this, they must have had it plugged in directly behind the TV so that the TV hid whatever it was. But in that shot, it does not appear to be plugged in at all. And I didn't realize they had TV. Can they get the Super Bowl? That's important. I can't miss the Super Bowl. There's no Twitter. Well, I'm just going to find out who won the Super Bowl 3 months after it happened. People won't even remember. I'm going to have to ask like 15, 20 people before somebody's like, whoa, wait, that thing that happened like 7 years ago? Yeah. 49ers beat the Chargers. No, wait, the 1980 Super Bowl. Fuck, who won the 1980 Super Bowl?
Can't you wait till later? I won't make a song that promise I'll tiptoe.
I think that the 49ers might have won the 1980 Super Bowl,
But
but they didn't play the Chargers. That was in 95.
sure you come right back. 'Cause I'm
Fuck. I could look it up, but I'm smoking a cigarette. My computer's in the house. See, and he's got to go up into the room to get his fire truck. Everybody's real sure to make sure that they don't disturb Dad. Nobody wants to disturb Dad. Interacting with Dad is a bad thing for us. We want to leave Dad be. Dad's no fun. It's not going to be pleasant if we wake up Dad. I can kind of relate to that, but that's because I have a fucked up schedule. I sleep during the day on Saturdays and Sundays. So, like, waking me up is literally like waking me up in the middle of the night, the middle of my sleep. It's not the same as, like, I'm an alcoholic piece of shit that's hungover like this guy, sleep until noon. Like, I don't go to bed until, like, 7 in the morning. You see how there's a hidden resentment there from the dad. And the kid is scared shitless. He's very timid to have this interaction. He's worried about what's going to happen. None of it's overtly said. What a strange feeling that must be. Like, he's your dad. You're supposed to have a loving relationship, but you're afraid to sit on his lap. You feel very uncomfortable. It feels cold.
Okay.
You just want the fuck out of there. You're shut down emotionally.
Yes, Dad.
See, listen to how he's talking. He's just totally shut down. He's a shell of himself in the presence of his father.
Dad? Do you feel bad?
And that's the crux of the issue, is that all the facades you put on for the outside world, all the people you try to pretend to be, all the things you claim you are, nobody sees you for who you really are more than your kids. Nobody notices if you're cracking up faster than your kids,
Dad?
because they're not emotionally invested in it the same way your spouse is. They're not looking at it with rose-colored glasses.
You like this hotel?
They don't feel like they owe you any certain level of accommodation or any, like, they just see you for what you are, not what you pretend to be. You can't hide from them because you go away from the outside world in the public. You come home to have your breakdowns, your cries, your fights, your arguments, whatever the case may be, your panic attacks. And they're there. You can't escape that. You can send them to they know what's going on. Excuse me. In certain circumstances, not when it comes to, like, you didn't buy me as fucking Turbo Man, or like all that shit is, you're never going to satisfy that. No matter what you give them, that's where their level of expectation will rise to, and they'll always want more.
Say that to you. I would hurt you.
My dog is still outside. I have trouble believing that.
Yes, Dad.
I think Danny's lying to him right now, saying what he wants to hear because he doesn't want to have the conversation if he says yes. How could he have not threatened to hurt him? If he has actually hurt him in the past, you imagine the threats came first. People who never touch their kids threaten to hurt them.
Hurt you.
It's a tool.
You know that, don't you?
Yes, Dad.
See how psycho he looks? It's not believable. It's almost like a veiled threat. It's like passive aggressive. I would never hurt you as he grips his shoulder tight and he realizes how weak he is in comparison to a grown man. This is an interesting thing here. The pattern on the carpet flips around. See how that opening is clearly on the other side of him right now? There's a ball that's going to roll down it to him. And when he stands up, the area the ball rolled in from is going to be sealed off. The opening will be facing the other direction. See? It's behind, it goes where his feet are now. A lot of shit reverses like that. It's weird. I hope you can hear me. I just realized I was talking with the microphone down by my hip. I'm a fucking asshole. Myrtle James. I guess I will just come back and sit down, and when she decides to climb those stairs, I'll let her ass in. She has hip dysplasia. I actually don't mind if she walks around the yard a little bit. See how he's wearing the spaceship shirt? And the pattern on the carpet bears a striking resemblance to the launch pads at NASA. It really does. So it was like a simulated launch of a rocket, which just so happens to be Apollo 13, right? Is that what it says? I don't want to... And Apollo 13, whatever ship is on his shirt, is the one that went to the moon. So that feeds into the conspiracy theories. That 237, room 237 is where all the shit goes down. And that is, the moon is like 237 million miles away from Earth. There's a lot of correlations you can draw. But also, when you're looking for that to be the ultimate answer, you will find a lot of correlations that maybe aren't intended to be that. They're just coincidences. But you'll chalk them up and file them under your theory. She just heard some weird screaming. The fuck was that about? Damn, we still have over an hour left in the movie. This is going to be a marathon one. Is he supposed to be becoming possessed? Or is this is just his internal struggle coming out through his subconscious while he's sleeping? When he's not there to shove it down and silence it. His conscious mind isn't able to intervene. I wonder how many cartons of cigarettes they brought with them. They don't have access to anything, any stores or anything, and they're going to be there for 5 months, and it seems pretty fucking boring. I don't even want to speculate how many cigarettes I would smoke during that period of time. I would feel like a piece of shit during every single one too, like a self-hating junkie, but it would just be boring. How many times can you play solitaire or throw a tennis ball against a wall? I can sympathize with that too. I would have never gotten myself into this position, but if I had, the feelings that he's having were like, fuck. Bro, if you have that nightmare, I don't think you can tell your wife. That would be... To tell someone that you had a nightmare that you chopped them up into little pieces... I think that that's going to be a wedge in your relationship for the foreseeable future. Now, this is the... Did he actually do this to Danny? Or did Danny fuck around and go into room 237? Was his dad passed out there and somehow his spirit was in room 237 fucking Danny up? How did Danny get assaulted? So he went to the moon and he came back abused. He's cold, lying naked on the floor. He's not naked. Got the shit ripped out of his shirt, though.
Annie, what happened to your neck? Annie?
So either the ghost did it, or his dad did it and didn't remember. He's having a split personality situation. He was trying to come up with a motive and pretend he was there sleeping, having a nightmare. See, the look on his, like, he seems like he's trying to figure out if he did that or not. Like, wait a minute, did I actually? Oh my God, what the fuck have I done?
You did this to him. Didn't you? You son of a bitch! You did this to him. Didn't you? How could you?
See, that's kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. Now, he was already kind of resenting them and seeing them as the enemy. Now she's announced that she's the enemy. Like, you can go fuck off, dude. I'm done with you. You are a piece of shit. So even though he's been doing absolutely nothing but fucking off this whole time, he's now walking down this hallway thinking about all these, quote, sacrifices he's made in his life for the sake of his family, for him to now be treated in this way, blamed for something apparently he doesn't recall. But if you want to go along with my abuse narrative, he most likely did. And this is the first time that they're showing him going in here. See, they say they take all the booze away, but he goes in here and hallucinates this party and having a drink with the bartender and shit. Did he sneak some booze in? Because I believe he's drinking throughout the course of the movie. If he has been keeping it together and he's really been sober for 5 months, you would think that he wouldn't be sleeping in till fucking noon and feeling like shit every day when he wakes up. You think that it would have been cleared out of his system and he'd have a renewed energy by this point. A fucking thirst for life.
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
God damn, he's so fucking crazy. This creepy motherfucker. Seems like a wax figure. I think the dog is ready. 220s and 210s?
Be there next April.
No, the dog isn't at the door. I'm an asshole.
Give me a bottle of bourbon, a little glass, and some ice. That catchy, Lloyd? You're not too busy, are you?
No, sir. Not busy at all.
Good man.
So he's just
Set him up and I'll
completely lost it.
One by one. White man's burden, Lloyd, my man. White man's
See, feeding back into that Native American imagery, the white man's burden. Getting drunk? Having money? What's the white man's burden?
How's my credit in this joint anyway?
Your credit's fine, Mr. Thomas.
That's swell. I like you, Lloyd. I always liked you. You were always the best of them. Best goddamn
This is
bartender from Timbuktu to Portland.
This, or Portland, Oregon.
Saying so.
So is this a memory from his past?
5 miserable months on the wagon.
Did he pay a bartender to sneak him some booze before? Because he doesn't have the money on him right now. Maybe he approached a bartender on his first visit and was like, dude, stash away some booze for me here. I'll give you $50. All I need is a glass. And like, maybe that's what he did. And now he's in his little hideaway having his drink. And that's where some of his unaccounted for time goes. I guess his wife would know if he was drinking. I'm just making all this up as I go. don't listen to what I say.
Nothing serious. Just a little problem with the sperm bank upstairs.
Jesus Christ, the sperm bank. You only got one kid. Doesn't seem like y'all been fucking recently. Neither of you are particularly attractive. I mean, you're not a bad-looking guy, but you're crazy as shit. That's going to attract a certain type, but it doesn't seem like it would attract her type. I don't know how you guys really got together. She's kind of mousy and homely. You were shit-faced. You saw her at a bar. You had beer goggles on. You went home and had a one-night stand. You woke up with Coyote Ugly. She called you 6 weeks later and said she was pregnant. You did the right thing and got married, and here you are.
I'd do anything. Any fucking thing.
Except for love him. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Oh, no, I won't do that. I would do anything for love, anything you've been dreaming of, but I just won't do that.
Completely unintentional.
Oh, fucking Meatloaf. See, now he's trying to justify
10 years ago.
the thing with the son.
After I'd thrown all my papers all over the floor, all I tried to do was pull them up.
Him and his wife both try to sell it as an isolated incident and a kind of compiling of circumstances, extraordinary circumstances that lead to this instance of abuse, this dislocated shoulder or whatever that happened with Danny. I'm not buying it. Oh, Danny fessed up, that's right. So it wasn't Jack. It was some woman in room 237.
There's someone else in the hotel with us. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms. She tried to strangle Danny.
The fuck do you want me to do about it?
Fucking mind.
He's sitting there having a conversation with an imaginary person and drinking a fake drink.
He went up into one of the bedrooms.
I'm reading way too much into it and claiming he's been drinking the whole time when that's probably not the case.
Strangled him.
I'm saying he's been drugging Danny and diddling him. That's probably not the case. I'm just having fun here. But anyway, when she claims that there's some woman in the hotel, he just turns to her and says, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" He was just having a whole conversation with an imaginary person.
Ann Bishop and the award-winning Newswatch team. Good evening.
Maybe he's got a little bit of the shine too. Whatever it is that Danny sees with and has the imaginary friend Tony.
Temperatures to the mid and upper 90s. The central
God damn, those are some breastises. Ooh, and that fro. Holy shit, do you even need a pillow?
travel in the Rockies is almost.
How heavy is that?
Airports are shut down, stranding thousands of passengers. Highways are blocked by snowdrifts. Railroad tracks.
He's about to get a bad feeling about this. Convenient that he doesn't get it until the place is snowed in and they've been there for a month and a half. Convenient that he didn't get it upon the first meeting. God damn, those are some nice breastises too. Not as impressive of a fro, but I still fuck. I probably don't meet the Nubian Queen's guidelines. Probably not up to her standards, but I'll take a fucking shot. Put my money where my dick is. Ooh, the heartbeat reminds me of Pink Floyd music. Boom, 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 boom. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Jesus Christ. How uncomfortable must it feel? Like he's doing this while there's people around him, a camera zooming in on his face. He's staring off into space, trembling. It's effective in the story, but you have to think about how silly it must have felt to be the actor. I wonder if he was traumatized by this. We're gonna need you to drool and pretend that you're seeing, like, god damn, that carpet pattern. It's a bunch of dicks. Look at those purple dicks. The world demands purple dicks. Purple dildos for everyone. It looks like a bunch of purple dicks entering the Garden of Eden. Well, this is where he's gonna see his mistress, and she rots away before his eyes. Like all of his hopes and dreams for his life. He sees the ideal fantasy, and then it turns into the harsh reality. The colors and shapes of all this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just visually it's mesmerizing. And the way that it's all symmetrical, and the shapes and the patterns, the colors. Those are some breastises too. She's got like this Eastern Bloc thing going on, kind of like Rocky's wife. Fuck, what was her name? Brigitte Nielsen. She's got like a little bit of a Brigitte Nielsen thing going on, mixed with the girl from Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich. We've got Bush. Take like some set of hair clippers to that or something. Let's at least trim it down. Give you a little buzz cut. Not like scratchy length, like the length where it kind of tickles. I just don't want to see like curls and waves and locks flowing. I think in a movie you almost have to have bush, because if you get rid of it, you're going to have the obvious clit. And I think that, or like the lip opening, and I don't think that they want to show any of that. The hair kind of masks it all. It's like the weeds growing up around the mailbox, but there is no mailbox. It's like if there was a pothole in your yard, but the grass was all grown up over it, so you couldn't really see it until you step in it and break your fucking ankle while you're mowing the lawn. Look at that bush sticking out from there. That's got some depth to it. Looks soft and fluffy. No wonder they used to call it beaver. That's a pelt. This is a weird-ass toilet paper dispenser. What's above it? I mean, the dispenser for the toilet paper looks normal, but what is that weird enclosure above it? Here I am looking at that instead of her. Those are some nice handful titties you got going on there. Ass is okay. You could do some more squats. Get it to a little more three-dimensional. I need a little more roundness there, kind of the shelf look. Ass so fat, sit a cup on her booty. I'm gonna make her booty jiggle, bro. Oh, so he starts making out with like his dream girl, and he opens his eyes. She's just rotten and putrid and laughing at him. Oh, God. You had to show me all those beautiful titties and then cap it off with these rotten, saggy ones. Fuck you, man. That's the image you're sending me home with? My dick wanted to come out and play, and now it's gone into hibernation. Had a turtle head poking out my front, now it's poking out my ass. At least nothing's poking in my ass, I guess. You look like Brienne from Game of Thrones when she was rising up out of the tub there. I knight thee. It's crazy how we've gotten farther away from those 70s, and those colors have gone from being totally disgusting to more acceptable. It's even, my eye has changed. I used to see those oranges and browns and olive greens, and I would like retract in horror. Like, ugh, God, what is that? What were they thinking? And now I see it, and I'm like, it's okay. I don't mind it. Works fine. It's weird. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm 31, guys. It's almost over. Put a fork in me. I'm done. Enjoy it while it lasts. That was kind of morbid. I'm not dying or anything. At least not that I know of. I gotta get like 30, 40 more episodes of the podcast out before I would feel like I had a substantial enough body of work to leave the earth. What an absurd thought. I do like the idea, though, that if anything were to happen, these would be there. Like, because I have a little son. If for some reason I got in a car, like, who knows what could happen. When he was older, he could go back and listen to these. He still can't, even if I'm around, and he just wants to see what I was like. They will be there. It's like a little hangout with your dad from the past.
Are you sure it was the right room?
Or your husband, or your brother, or your son, whatever.
Door was open, the lights were on.
It's like a forever home video type thing, but it's more intimate and personal. Episodic. And more digestible.
Somebody did that too.
Like in the future, somebody who knew me if I was gone, in theory, could put on one of these podcasts, put on the movie I'm watching, and it would be like they were watching the movie with me. Kind of. It would be like a little, they could do that. I know that there's people that I know who would want that from their, like if they could have recordings of their dad or their grandpa or their mom, that they would want them.
There is no other explanation. Is there?
Shit,
Wouldn't be that different from the episode that he had.
shit, I missed what, is he trying to say that Danny made it all up? Danny's over here having a stroke and nobody knows because he's either getting beat up or not paid attention to. We've got the dyslexic murder on the wall. I wonder at what point he decided to work that in. Like, at what point did he notice that murder backwards is red rum? And then decide to have it written on the door, have Danny, red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum. And then you see it in the mirror and it's murder.
Fucking typical of you to create a problem like this when I finally have a chance to accomplish something. When I really get into my work. I can really write my own ticket
See, he's
now, couldn't I?
all of that resentment and hatred.
In a car wash.
This isn't the life he wanted. This isn't what he wants to do. He doesn't even really like her.
Fuck up my life so far, but I am not gonna let you fuck this up.
And she doesn't know that he's really been up to not shit. So she takes that from him. He's talking about how he's on the verge of writing his own ticket and all that. You've realized that you aren't qualified for a goddamn thing. She's been doing all the work around this place while you pretend to write. You've been writing one sentence over and over again. You're hallucinating. Now you're destroying the place you're in charge of tidying. You're the steward. See, there's exits everywhere. Everything has an exit sign above it. How could they all be exits? Now is there the huge ball going on? I thought there was the party when he was going in last time, but it was just him and the bartender. He and the bartender. Whatever the fuck. Sue me. I was going to give him shit for wearing a jacket, but they did mention how they barely run the furnace and it's cold in there. Danny's always got a sweater on and shit. even when I did acid once. It was kind of weak. Didn't like it gave me like kind of the body high feeling, but there was no like real tripping out. I've done mushrooms a handful of times. I've never seen something like that in front of me, especially for a sustained period of time. The only glimpses of quote hallucinations that I've had are when I was really fucking tired, and they were basically like artifacts or misconstructions of images by my brain. I saw something wrong. I'd see a shadow and think it's a dog, or I'd see a mailbox and think it's a person about to cross the street. You know, weird shit like that, but totally explainable once you stop and think about what happened. Not like, when I turned down a hallway and it was just full of balloons that clearly weren't there, but I saw them. And then there was a party in the room that can't exist because it's too big for the hotel to house. And there were people who had been dead for 50 years inside dancing, and I walked amongst them. They knew my name and they treated me well. It was like some kind of fancy aristocrat cheers. I sat down at the bar, I drank my fill. A girl kneeled down below me, she drank her fill. She called me her cowboy, I let her suck on my udder. We don't have a cow, we have a bull. You want a Manhattan? Neat.
It's good to be back, Lloyd. What was pizza? Hair of the dog that bit me. Bourbon on the rocks.
Jack Daniels is bourbon? I thought it was whiskey. Are whiskey and bourbon the same thing? I really don't know the difference between most boozes. Like, what is this one made out of? What's that one made out of? This one's in a barrel, that one's in a... I don't fucking know.
No charge. Your money's no good here.
What do you have, Canadian money? You dipshit.
Orders from the house.
It's a good hustle, though. Oh, I only have these Swahili bills. Ah, my bad. Fuck, you already poured it, too. Well, I'll just see if I can find, like, a place in the hotel that exchanges currencies, and I'll get back. You just keep that right there. Do you mind putting it in the fridge for me so the ice doesn't melt too much? I can have it? Oh, you're too kind. Eddie Munster grew up to be a great bartender.
Anything you say, Lloyd. Anything you say.
I'd like it a lot better if you had a members-only jacket on. It's almost borderline. Well, not really. Never mind. Forget what I was even gonna say. Oh, fucking hell, man. You just spilt all this liquid egg all over me? Who the hell was drinking champagne glasses full of liquid egg? Were you going in the back to make some McGriddles? Fancy people are so weird. Jeeves? Is this a simulation of his ego? He comes here, he gets the star treatment, he doesn't have to pay. It's all about him. What is this McDonald's bathroom? I actually don't mind the scheme. I'm a big fan of red. I prefer red and black, but I don't know if that'd play with a bathroom. Most fixtures and shit are white. Now I think the dog's at the door. Why the fuck you still got white gloves on? You know it's dirty. Where is she? I hear her. Oh, she's coming up the stairs now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I got a pet rabbit and I feed it And I named it, and it's my friend. And I got a bottle. Got a bottle of whiskey.
Miss Brady.
Do you think that you could shove this tampon up my ass? I soaked it in vodka, and I'm having trouble getting it all the way up. I just can't reach, and I don't quite have the gumption. I'm not that familiar with my own undercarriage. I hear that you can get super fucked up, and my wife wouldn't smell it on my breath because she hasn't given me a rim job in at least 13 years. So I'm just going to shove vodka-soaked tampons up my rectum. But I was wondering if you could help bust my cherry, so to speak, my behymen, as it were.
Mr. Brady.
I'm waiting.
Word caretaker. I recognize you.
So this is supposed to be the caretaker who murdered his family, the kids that we keep having the visions of. That play with us, Danny. Play with us. Not in a sexual way, because we're all minors. We're very little children. Like, play games with us, like Barbie and Ken. We might take their clothes off, but it's all innocent fun. Maybe we throw dirt clods at each other, Danny. Anyway, so this is supposed to be the guy, the former caretaker who murdered all his family. What if this party was a conglomeration or a congregation of all the people who had worked at and been murdered or died in the hotel? How fucking spooky would that be? Maybe that's what it is. Because this guy's here. We don't really get backstory on everybody else. There seems to be some type of a familiarity with the bartender. Like maybe he's somebody from the past. It's like, is he trying to say there's like some type of a demon that possesses their id and takes over, and once it's killed them, it just remains and waits for the next vessel? And he's being warned about Danny shining with Scatman. Ooh, that's rough. Come on. Oh, Jesus, you're gonna say it 3 times in a row? Let's really hammer that one home. I imagine people even in 1980 had to be like, what the fuck, man? You couldn't just say black guy?
I don't think you are aware how great it is. But he is attempting to use that very talent against your will.
Well, you haven't told him not to use it, so how is it against your will? If somebody does something you don't know they can do without your knowledge, does that mean it's against your will? You never really talked about it.
Indeed he is, Mr. Torrance.
See, now Danny has decidedly become the enemy.
A rather naughty boy, if I may be so bold.
Is he in need of a good spanking? Because that's not really my style. I just like to punch him in the throat and throw him into doors. He's got a good amount of hair. It's pretty easy to grab a handful of his hair and just pick him off the ground. Like,
Perhaps
give him a bath in the sink against his will. Some swirlies. A few slaps in the face. A lot more work to the body because I don't want him showing it. I guess we're up here in the mountains for a few months. It'll heal. But, you know, just let him know who's boss. Make sure he shows me respect.
my girls, they didn't care for the overlook at first. One of them actually stole a pack of matches and tried to burn him down. But
So his kids, the girls, they had some kind of an issue where they weren't enjoying the Overlook Hotel either. and they, in his eyes, became the enemy as well. So the kids have some type of a connection to the truth, and the fathers see it as an issue, as a hindrance.
We might just be able to get down the mountain and
I'm trying to wrap my arms around this here.
I could call the forest rangers first and then tell them that we're coming so that they can start searching for us.
Maybe he's trying to say, like, the younger generation, the kids, always kind of know what's really up, and their parents, their elders, always see that as a hazard to their way of life, as drastic change that's going to fuck up their routine and shatter their universe. Maybe a little bit. Oh, that, he says it's so creepy too. Red rum. All I want for Christmas is a fat bitch with a name bell say glitter on it. All I want is a fat bitch and a bag of cheeseburgers for Chico to lick on. All I want for Christmas is a bag of weed and a pair of Jordan 1s. So the multiple personalities with Danny are, he's flown over into the Tony personality now. Danny's not even there.
Wake up
Is she gonna slap him?
right now.
She looks like she's gonna slap him. I got this light shining in my eyes, Mom. Did he go to get you some chapstick for that bottom lip? Tuck that in. Don't want to get that caught on a tripwire. Everything's always about mama. Love my mama. Oh, everything. Always have respect for mama. Mama did it all. Mama hold my hand. What about daddy? Papa was a rolling stone. That's an old Chris Rock bit. I think I just butchered the shit out of it. Oh, you guys have got your only form of communication in front of the impossible window? No wonder you can't break the force field. The hydrosylator and the flux capacitor aren't working in conjunction. You're losing like 3 or 4 quads per channel. That's technical talk. It was a pretty surgical method. Like, he didn't bash the shit out of it. He just opened it and removed a couple of vital organs, and we're done.
Hello, this is Dick Howland again. I call about
What is this crazy kind of like beach-looking crib you got here? Do you live in the south of Florida, or what the fuck's up, dude?
but they didn't answer.
Can I party with you?
They got their radio turned off or they're in a place where they can't
Can you
hear.
put on an all-white suit and furnish some cocaine?
Oh, that's very nice of you.
You look like an old man, low-key drug lord. Looks like you're just laying in the cut, collecting that bank. Running shit. You look like you could be ruthless. This nice facade. Oh, I'm this nice guy. I just shine. I don't make a bunch of money off of drugs and murder. That's not me. Continental Airlines. Does that even exist anymore? I haven't flown on a plane since the year 2000. So, I have very little knowledge of the current airline situation in any country or state of the union. I know that poor guy in the back looks like he's barely fitting in that seat.
Where
His drink is sitting on his dick, basically. And it's cold. Real cold. But you could warm it up with your mouth. Just breathe on it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Fart on it? No? I took a shot. What do you want? I took a shot. Look at that grand fucking hall he gets to ride in. Oh my god. It's like such an epic room. Like to be able to treat that as your living room because the hotel's empty. It's kind of dope. You just would want to be able to leave and like run to the store, rent a movie, get a pack of cigarettes. Talk to somebody who you're not related to for more than, for any period of time. Just 30 seconds. Just, hey, how's the Yankees versus the Red Sox rivalry going? What do you think about Pete Rose?
Perkins Garage. Oh, can I speak to Larry? Speaking. Hi, Larry. This is Dick.
What is Apollo Creed's trainer doing here?
How you doing?
This isn't Russia.
I'm not in.
Did they fool us? Did they say Rocky went to Russia and he really went to Colorado?
Well, I just got into Miami and I gotta get up to Louisville up today. What's the weather like up there?
Well, the snowplows are keeping things moving in town. The mountain roads are completely blocked.
That means I'm gonna need a snowcat to get up there, Larry.
Sounds like a hell of a life.
What's the big deal about getting up there today?
It's so weird what people get used to putting up with, and they put up with it, their parents put up with it, it just keeps going. Just live in a place where you can't do anything a few months a year because you're snowed in. They're just like, yep, it's what we do. Take pride in it. 25% of my life is going to be spent indoors avoiding the snow. I'm cool with it.
How long is it going to take you to get
I'm open.
Oh, about 5 hours. I'm gonna rent a car here at the
5 hours? Jesus Christ. He really believes that some fuckery's afoot. He rode an aeroplane and then he's gonna drive 5 fucking hours to get there to check on these dudes. It's not his personal responsibility. If the fit hits the shan, it's not gonna fall on his shoulders. He's not gonna get a call from some district manager wanting to know why profits are down due to some more dead people in the hotel. Okay, so here, there's gonna be a red bug that gets smashed to shit in this accident. It got run over by a semi, it looks like. And note how in the book it was a red bug, not a yellow bug. This is Kubrick saying like, see, I just done run over your shit. I crushed it. It's gone. Forget it. This is my shit now. She might have been your bitch at some point, but that's my baby in her right now. Eating cereal and drinking chocolate milk. That's a lot of dairy, bro. You're gonna have some good farts. Your mom's always steady dressed like a farmer. Me. My dog is hungry. Pit bull abortions are expensive, so I guess I'll feed her dog food.
I want you to just stay here and watch your progress, okay?
That was an off-color joke. I shouldn't have said that. It was a reference to a line from an old D12 song, and I didn't orchestrate that statement very well. It could have come out of my mouth a little bit better. That's what she said. Ugh, why is it coming out of your mouth? If you let it go in your mouth, it stays there. Well, that's not necessary. You can go spit it out, but we're not doing any like snowballing, just keep that shit off me. I get it on me enough by accident. I'm just gonna go spelunking, and then I'm gonna go look for some truffles with my dog. You like dogs? Stanley's got like PTSD now. He's like ultimately traumatized. She's walking around carrying this bat holding it basically in the dead center. She's choked up so far on it, she couldn't even swing that shit if she wanted to. The small end, the heel, would hit her in the fucking forearms. She doesn't have full range of motion. She's going to be able to do like little pussy swats with that. I know it's a bat and all, but you got to get a good swing. He's a grown-ass man. You're a little skinny girl. The typewriter also changes colors. I forgot about that. The typewriter starts off a lighter color and now it's dark. There's little transitions and subtle changes. This place is alive. Now she's going to figure out what he's been up to all this time, and it ain't much. Imagine the tingling sensation she got all over her entire body, how warm her cheeks suddenly felt as she starts to read this and realize that he has just completely fucking lost his marbles. It's just pages and pages and pages and pages of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Like an entire book worth. He wrote a Bible's worth of pages that only say all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. And he even broke them up into paragraph form. Like he is fucking off his rocker. I suppose it could be commentary on how if you dedicate your entire life to your work and submerge yourself in there, you can become saturated with it and no longer do a good job because you're just sick, you're burnt out. And as well as alienate yourself from your family and everybody else in the outside world. You can get to the point where your work is all you have and you fuck up your work and now you've got nothing. It's all empty. It's all gone. Like he's been working, I guess you could say. He's been sitting there typing, but he hasn't been accomplishing anything. Just busy work, just running on a wheel. Working out his hands. It's the final countdown. He's such a great villain. This, the Joker, his character Francis in The Departed. Great fucking actor. It seems like he's genuinely having just a good time living his life. I see you read my book. Why didn't you like my post on Facebook? Did you watch my story? 15 other people watch my fucking story that I'm not married to. You can't watch my fucking story? Huh? The content I produce isn't good enough for you? When will I ever be good enough for you, damn it? Just oh shit. Danny's on one of his Vietnam trips again. Those aren't baddies, man. Those are Chicanos like you. If you need air, call it out. What a beautiful, like, I know it's supposed to be gory and horrific, but that shot, just the accomplishment of getting that blood to rush out of the elevator and slam into both walls and roll up and then fill up the floor, and then to the extent that the furniture starts floating around and everything's red. He frames stuff so well too, and takes you on this visual ride, and the use of the Steadicam and the placement of objects. It's like there's definitely ways to make a movie where you just kind of get in, get out, get on with it, and you could make a decent movie. And then this seems like there's this way where just the preparation and planning would be a hefty enough task. But then the execution and then revising stuff to make sure it turns out the way you want and how complex it is. Everything's in the shop for a reason. Like, Kubrick is a fucking genius.
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers? Has it ever...
See, the moon landing conspiracy theorists think that this is Jack Nicklaus in this situation represents Stanley Kubrick blowing up at his own wife because he has agreed to get himself in bed with the government, allegedly, and proceed with this faking of the moon landing. And he feels this ultimate pressure to get it correct because everybody's reputation and possibly his life is riding on it. And I don't think that she would have known what was going on. So when she's pressuring him and then do you have any idea what it's like to make a commitment and have to uphold your word and get all this word? Like, the weird part about this rant is that he hasn't been doing a goddamn thing there. He's beholden to his employers, but she's been the one doing all the maintaining. He's been sitting there writing bullshit on his typewriter. See those little pussy swings she's taking? Looks like a 4-year-old trying to hit a T-ball with a wiffle ball bat. Some kind of bullshit Nerf thing. One of those bats that looks like wood, but it's foam. She's gonna club him a good one, too. The hit knocks him off balance. It's the falling down the stairs that really does him in. See, he's done fucking around now. We've done walked across the entire foyer, up the staircase. This little cat and mouse game. I don't know what kind of weird foreplay game y'all are on, but let's cut the shit. Take my flannel shirt off. Put on a dress. Take Danny out to the park. So there's a little hit in the hand, and then I guess she caught him like kind of across the face or neck. Yeah, right on top of the head. He's out cold, so now he's got a concussion too. Danny hasn't suffered one recently, but you got to think that the neurochemistry is fucked up a little bit there. Oh, she's gonna lock him in the fucking freezer to die. Ain't that right? This is the storeroom. Take the pin out, you dumb bitch. Oh my god. You don't see I can see the pin in the handle. Yeah, there you go, wise guy. I think a chimpanzee could have figured that out. I know she's it's a high stress situation. She's panicky, she's worried, she's scared, but fucking hey.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
This isn't even the freezer. This is just the story room. So that brings up another interesting... I had forgotten about this. She locks him in that room, and he kind of miraculously gets let out. But who lets him out? Sincerely doubt that she would have done it. It doesn't seem likely that Danny would have done it. Danny doesn't like interacting with his dad at all, it seems like, going near him even. I don't know that Danny would go out of his way to interfere with this situation at all. It's like, is it a spirit that did it?
Baby. I think you're hurt real bad.
We don't actually know what happened to Danny when he came down with his shirt all ripped to shit.
Doctor.
You could say that that was done by Jack. So if that's the case, when he gets let out of this room, is kind of the only area where possibly something supernatural actually happened in the physical world. But you could possibly file the Danny attack under that category too. The story he gives his mom is he went into room 237 and some woman attacked him.
Wendy?
There's so many points in the movie where you're like, okay, now he's gone crazy and lost it. And then something else follows that up, and you're like, no, wait, now he's gone crazy and lost it. And then a few minutes later, now he's gone. He's just. A lot of people have crazy within him, but Jack Nicklaus seems to have, like, tenfold the levels of crazy that other people have. He seems to be able to access crazy at so many different, like. He can do normal person crazy, he can do a step above that, and he can just keep taking it until he can get as crazy as the craziest person you've seen. It's like somebody who's funny, and just when you think they can't get any funnier, they make you laugh. Except for he just keeps getting creepier and more insane. He reads as a guy that I would actually be creeped out by face to face. See, this has been fucked with. He definitely did that. He did the radio. And it was once they were stuck there. That's when the distributor cap. I don't even know what this does, but I think it means that the snowcat doesn't run anymore. I better get on the radio and ask them how to put this thing back on. It looks kind of like a sentinel from the Matrix. It's like a jar lid, and it's got all these stringy things coming off of it like hair. It's like a spaghetti jar lid with spaghetti, like a big. It's got wires. So there's a knock. He's just eating peanut butter and Oreos. Fucking A right, doggy. Go ahead and have your biodome moment. Let's eat. We got chippies, we got lots of stuff to eat. Mellow roast. He should have been drinking that. He's been drinking that maximum overdrive caffeine coffee. U-Ban. Just sprinkle it on your ice cream. Or eat it out of a straight can for a good pick-me-up. She did lock him in the one room that he could survive in for a very long time. He's got treetop apple juice. He's got big cans of ketchup. He's got the Calumet. Is that tobacco? Baking powder? Nilla wafers, Tang, Oreos, olives, pickles, pimento pieces, sliced peaches, Bartlett pears, Chinese egg noodles.
I and others have come to believe that your heart is not in this.
See, this is some weird, like, cult shit now that I'm not fully understanding. He has some kind of agreement with this group of spirits.
Just give me one more chance to prove it, Mr. Brady. That's all I ask.
Ooh, we've only got 27 minutes left. We're making it through. We are getting there. I apologize if this isn't a good commentary. I always think they're not going as well as they end up going. Like when I go back and listen to them, they usually end up better than I thought they were.
Moment, Mr. Brady.
Oh, but
Only for the moment.
we'll see on this one. I know I've been talking a lot of shit, and I've been saying a lot of off-color stuff and just going with it.
The harshest possible. Yeah, that is the only thing to do.
Nothing I look forward to with greater pleasure, Mr. Brady.
You give your word, I'll let you
He's having a full-on conversation with just a voice inside his head. He's he's locked inside the story room by himself. And at the end of that conversation, the door unlocks. What the fuck is that? Now that would be fun as long as you didn't get stranded out there by yourself. Just take off with a bag of weed and a pipe and go drive out there into the middle of nowhere and hang out with the trees and the slopes. Smoke a couple bowls, look up at the stars. Put on some Uncle Cracker. Everything is gonna be alright. Alright, I gotta take another piss again so you can listen to Catman Scruthers. Scatman Cruthers. Catman Scruthers? That's his new name now. I changed it. You heard it here first, folks. It's nice to give my voice a rest there for a second. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it too. We're sticking through this bitch. We are getting there. We're gonna handle it. Get the job done. White knuckle. Red rum, murder. So Danny's dyslexic too. On top of all the abuse he'd suffered, the brain tumor, the possible autism, he's dyslexic. And that might be the worst of them all. I guess he's reading it the correct way. He just wrote it backwards. Oh, was he having the vision? It wasn't actually written yet? My bad. Every time I saw the flash of it, for some reason I thought it was already on the door and nobody had bothered to figure out what it meant. He's writing it right now. This is actually a pretty good performance by this kid. What they asked him to pull off and the way he does it, in this voice all creepy. Oh my God. If my son woke me up with a huge kitchen knife in his hand, reciting red rum in a fucking child's play-esque voice, I don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't feel safe. What age are kids at, you think, when they actually understand the consequences of something like murder? Like, just be like, do you have a good enough grasp on reality to understand what the impact of your actions would be if you miscalculated your handling of that knife? I don't think you do. And now I can't trust you to not handle the knife, so we're going to have a situation on our hands. The knives now have to be put away, completely out of reach. I'm going to put you in your bedroom. I'm going to take the waistband off of my bathrobe. I'm going to tie your doorknob to the bathroom door across the hallway so you can't get it open. And I'm going to take a nap. And this is going to be the best way I know how to parent this situation. I'll slide a couple pancakes under the door, maybe an English book. We'll work with what we've got. Very good, Jack. Now let's try for 3 minutes. The window opens farther than that. It should. Did I miss the iconic face through the door scene, or is it coming up right here with this door? I think it's this door. The cover of the movie, the poster. Probably the most famous shot of Jack Nicklaus ever. Is it Jack Nicholson? And I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Because there's a golfer and the actor, and they're Nicholas and Nicholson. And I have never in my entire life been able to sort that out in my head and figure out which one's which. I just fuck it up all the time. I may have been doing it for 2 hours. I'm sorry, folks. It's the way she goes. Fucking way she goes. One of the creepiest parts is how it seems like it's a game to him. What a great fucking shot. That steady cam of the axe swings. How fun would it be to be able to act out this scene, though? You just lose your mind and start hitting this shit. I could access that part of my brain. I would be able to have fun with it. But the creepiest part is that the character seems like he's having fun with it. He's doing the huff and the puff, and he's like, this is just a cat. This is fun. Yay, we're just playing with our toys. Yeah. Okay. That, Andy Kaufman, he's a bum, okay? He sucks. I hate him. Thank you very much. Here's Johnny. That one's for my mother, and that one's for my father. And that one's for my sister. I hope you have a small family. I am from the island of Caspiar. It sank. God damn, she looks scared. That's what I'm talking about with how they say that Kubrick treated her kind of like an outsider and borderline abused her to make it seem authentic when she was on the screen in those scenes. She seems legitimately fucking terrified. This is a little bit of a cheap hope spot. I don't really understand the connection between Danny and Catman Scruthers. And this is a slightly cliched element of horror films where all of a sudden a cop comes in or a guy that you suspect might be the hero and you're like, oh, this is going to work out. He's going to save the day. And then he gets killed fairly quickly. And then you're like, oh, shit, we're back to dire straits. The problem is, seen it so many times that when I see him pull up, I'm like, oh, he's going to die. And then we're going to be right back to where we were a few seconds ago. He can buy a little bit of time. She can maneuver, get a better strategic position, a high ground. Maybe she'll have time to cut his dick off. I don't know. Throw it in the maze. He can freeze to death trying to find it. At least it would be on ice. If he did find it, it would be good. Just have to rush him to a hospital. It'd only take like 4 months. Especially now that Southland Druthers is there. I even like that limp. It just adds a creepiness to him. Oh, chef. You didn't even have time to make us a fine meal or something. We didn't get any starters, any mains. Tell the chief stew to make me a drink. What's going on here? Ain't this about a bitch? You have a black guy in a horror film. He makes it to safety, and then you gotta fly him back on some contrived shit and trifle with his survival and kill him off. Come on. Come on. I'm just playing with you. You ain't got a weapon or nothing, motherfucker? You just coming in here all cavalier-like, ready to save the day with your words? You gonna fight true evil with your thoughts and prayers? I wonder why this movie seems to get overlooked when classic horror is spoke of. At least I think it does. We tend to think of classic horror as franchises, and this was just a single serving, but it was so good. How the fuck is Danny seeing everything? I didn't have that kind of kaleidoscope. You got that year 2000 kaleidoscope? What was that thing called where you put the little disc in there and it looked like a camera and you looked up at the light and you click it and change it to a different picture, you click it again, change it to a different picture? What was that shit called? A view friend finder? Camera friendster? Is that a cigarette vending machine? That's where you're getting your cigarettes. That bitch is going to be empty by the time you leave here. You're going to smoke all the menthols, all the ultralight 100s. Hope they don't have any of those palmetto shits in there. Like a jet engine on the back of them. Feel like you're smoking a cigarette through a straw. I've done that before. It's not good. I used to try all kinds of stupid shit when I was a teenager, like, I wonder what happens when you do this. Part of it's human nature, part of it's like trying to goof off for your friends and make them laugh, but I smoked 2 cigarettes at once before, just hold them both together like it's one cigarette, light them both, smoke them both. Hell of a headache and head. What the fuck? There's a bear party going on in there? A fluffy bear party. Whew. Some kinky shit. Are fluffies a part of the LGBTQA+ community? At this point, can we just call them like the keyboard smash community? There's so many letters in there. It's like you just smashed your hand down on it. Why don't we call it, why can't it be the alphabet community? We're supposed to be including everybody, right? This is all about inclusion. So why do we have specific letters? I think it should be all the letters. You can be whatever letter you want to be. You can be lesbian and identify with S. Talk about vulnerable. How fucking scary would it be to be this little kid? Your dad is chasing you through a snowy maze with an axe. Your fucking dad. And he's running through this fresh snow. So his dad can just follow his footprints through the entire thing. And he can run until his little legs are exhausted, and his dad will find him right where he falls because of those fucking footprints. The weird thing is that Jack seems to be going into like a hypothermic state, and Danny seems to be fine. You think Danny would get colder faster because he's a smaller person? And they're both running, which would be generating a good amount of body heat, you would suspect. So Danny's going to discover... Oh, no, she's still trudging through. We'll go back to her. Look at those vintage 7-Ups. I must have drank about 15 Dr. Peppers. How do you feel? I gotta go pee. Believe he said he has to go pee. 1, because I was thirsty, and 2, because they was free. You know, in Forrest Gump, he says that he was named after General Nathan Bedford Forrest, and it shows the KKK. That was a real guy. They actually referenced a real KKK member in Forrest Gump and had him named after the guy. That's a fucking... I don't think that'd fly today at all. I figured out that was real and I went, God damn. But that movie was such a weird journey through history via this accidental idiot. He just kind of failed upwards his whole life with kindness and love and generosity and not being a smart man but knowing what love is and then listening to Blur. Today's gonna be the day that she's gonna come back to you. I know that's not Blur, that's Oasis. It's the song that popped into my head. I don't think I know any Blur songs. Okay, so Danny has learned the lesson that sometimes in order to find a way out, you have to go back the way you came and retrace your footsteps to solve the problem. This is fucking brilliant for a little kid to figure out and to execute. So he's figured out his dad's following his footprints. So he has now made a loop, and he's going to exit using his own footprints and backpedaling. He's even doing it backwards so they're shaped the same. So now his dad's just going to continue to follow those footprints in perpetuity, like a death spiral, like an ant that's following a faulty chemical trail. And he's just going to be stuck there in this feedback loop. Now she gets the vision of the blood. God damn, that's a good shot. I almost wonder if the elevator doors should have been a different color, though, to really accentuate it. Like, if the elevator doors were white, I think that blood would really pop. Because once the blood kind of fills the shot, there's almost too much red with those doors. He even waited around to make sure. But Jack, when he's following the footprints, is dragging his foot and covering them up. Oh, he didn't create a loop. It's a dead end. He doesn't know where he went. Tricky motherfucker. I guess all those knocks upside the head didn't make all the screws loose. Still 1 or 2 in its correct spot. God, the anticipation that Danny must be feeling, wondering if this worked out. Did I figure it out? Am I safe? Can I go away? Did I just kill my dad? Will he ever be able to overcome this trauma? It's just begging for a jump scare. So how did Danny find his way out from that point? He knew which direction the footprints actually came from, so he just followed them backwards? Because his and Jack's footprints would be different, because Jack is taking a step and then dragging his leg, and then taking a step and dragging his leg. So it would be like footprints on one side and like a line on the other. Like a wake. He'd be sloshing snow all over the place, almost kind of covering his own tracks in a way. Oh, see, Jack didn't go down to the vehicle, so they've got this way out. Did that guy bring any gas cans with him? How much gas does that thing hold? You can't just take off in that thing without filling it up with gas. You're gonna make it like an hour away and get stuck and die. No gas, no heat. So Danny's been out there just as long as him. How come Danny isn't being affected by the cold this much? There was head trauma. Did he lose blood? When your wife tells you you're too drunk to go outside and cut down a Christmas tree. I'm gonna cut down a fucking tree. This is my house. I'm gonna cut down the fucking tree right fucking now. You don't think I can do it? I'll take my axe outside and I will cut down this tree. Danny boy! There's a semi kind of local band from Oregon called Floater, and they have a song called Danny Boy that I haven't listened to in a long time, but I'm going to right after I record this commentary, because I am currently thinking about how marvelous it will be. Like rubbing my ecstasy-filled body against some soft leather. You ever just feel your leather? He's getting primal now. He who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man. In this case, he's gonna die, though. Sorry, that's a funny shot to me. The look on his face. So does he just sit there all fucking winter? Somebody finds him when he thaws out next. The hotel doesn't fall into total disrepair. So remember earlier when I said that what if everybody at that ballroom party was people who had been worked at or died in the hotel? And how like Mr. Grady said he had always been there. So now we're going to see Jack on one of these pictures from way back in the day at one of these parties. And the date is like 1920 or something like that. So every time somebody dies in that hotel, do they get added to the picture? See, there he is right there in the front. Is this some kind of a cycle? I don't exactly... Is he a time traveler? I can't quite make sense of it, if I'm being honest. I know that Kubrick probably had a clear vision for why he did it. Like, his spirit stuck there. I really want to know if it has something to do with that party, and if the implication's supposed to be that that party, all those people have died at that hotel over the years. 1921. Interesting. It's a mind fuck of a movie. It's a crazy ride. It's really like an acid trip in a lot of ways. It wouldn't be a good movie to watch on acid because it's confusing enough as it is without your perception being altered that much. you would start to really get confused about stuff you saw. And then you'd wonder if it really happened that way, or did I just see it that way because I'm fucked up? I used to have a friend, and whenever something weird would happen to us, he'd say, is this happening just because I'm high? I'd be like, no, man, it's just because you're always high. So whenever something like this happens, you also happen to be high. It's just how the events play out. So that's the commentary for The Shining from 1980, Stanley Kubrick. Hopefully I didn't make a total ass of myself, and that was reasonably entertaining. It was an undertaking to do a movie that long, I'm not gonna lie. This is the longest movie I've ever done a commentary on. You guys can check me out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Avarice Podcast on all platforms. On my Facebook page, I post links to different t-shirt designs I make. If you want to support the show, you can buy a t-shirt. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that. Trying to build something up here. Maybe eventually someday get a sponsor and be like, make some money off this. And then, who knows? Maybe I could actually do this for a living and quit doing my regular jobs and delivering newspapers and selling shit on eBay and make videos and have the time to really put all the effort into them that I want to. You wouldn't have an unlimited amount of time, but I wouldn't be on such, I feel, because I have so few days available during the week, I feel an obligation to kind of cut back on how extravagant I get with the video component, the research, etc., just so that I'm able to produce content on a regular basis, at least once a week, hopefully twice. But I'd love to be able to do a video a day and just do top-notch shit. I had some stuff to learn before I'd be able to do that, and I would need more time available to me. So hop on board. Let's get this train a-rolling. Let's let it leave the station. Let's gain some momentum. Let this snowball roll downhill. Quit with the fucking similes and metaphors, you douchebag. End this podcast already before everybody wants to unsubscribe. Nobody likes it when you talk like this. Alright. Anyway, until the next time, I'm Devin. And I'm Devin. Signing off and saying, be easy.